From the Garden of Eden came our first family, the parents, who were the first students in the school of life, with remembrances of being taught by the Creator Himself. Thanks to those hundreds of thousands who have gone before us and sacrificed their lives to the preserving of this tree and garden tradition. Passing on this tree and garden tradition has been a great family effort. Men, women, and children have taken part in preserving it through learning and teaching, giving countless of hours translating, and even dying in defense of it so that we might benefit. We may not have realized this tradition has been a part of our environment because it has always been a part of our story in a large way and simple aspects. Reading the Bible was a common practice among most families in the first 200 years in this land, and those who have continued that ritual have been led by its wholesome, virtuous principles. Though we may not have realized it, this word holding this tree and garden tradition has exposed us to this layered learning and teaching way. It has been a part of America's heritage since its founding. The best schools were created to transfer these tree and garden teachings, such as Harvard, which began for parochial school, training rabbis, pastors, and clergy. Many since have searched deeper and found an endless source of nourishment for their tree springing out from the garden. As those patterns and layers of truth from the beginning were passed down through the generations from one family to the next, this model was eventually taught through more formal learning centers. Neil Flinders explains it like this: schools were established among the Jewish remnants of the House of Israel. The elementary school was called the Beit HaSefer, the House of the Book. Here young children were taught in the rudiments of education as they learned the law of Moses. The higher school for teenage children was called Beit HaMidrash, the House of Study. It was in such a school in the temple that Jesus was found conversing with the teachers when he was 12 years old. The flavor of education in the ancient Hebrew heritage can be found in the book of Proverbs. This remarkable treatise was a widely read and generally accepted handbook on secondary education, or lifelong learning. This tree and garden teaching literally became the model of learning centers. In those House of the Book schools, the learning included the law in the first 5 books of Moses through a specific way. The meaning of the word to learn, Strong's 39:25, leads us to understand. The learning was by showing the direction or towards. Not only was there a learning of the law and those foundational principles in the book, but there was also a house of learning showing way. This house of learning can be seen in a general sense of learning in the house of the book and house of study, and also in a specific sense of a showing and leading garden way. These tree and garden teachings can not only be applied in formal schools, but they can become the model of our lifelong learning pursuits. We can build our house on solid truths, thus strengthening and developing our education, faith, and character on foundational principles that have been passed down throughout time on earth from the garden.
In the days that are coming, the mountain stands high. Nations will rally under one sky. The house of the Lord, shining so bright, will guide his people out of the night. No more we fashion swords induce